St. Patrick's Cemetery is the oldest in Lethbridge. Due to the long history of the graveyard, it has offered up some interesting stories. Belinda Crowson, the museum educator at the Galt who leads the crawl through the cemetery, believes that it's a great place to learn of people's past lives.
The goal is to share history with people, but in a way that's different. And so we focus on some of the more weird ways people died, suicides, murders, things like that. But it's a way to get people doing history in a place they don't expect to do history and in a way that's different.
The tours have been successful and have been running for over 10 years, according to Crowson. The public continues to show up year after year, and she says she is happy to continue doing them as long as there is interest. She thinks the reason why people continue to return is the stories connected to the cemetery.
Well, I think it's the whole factor that it's at night, it's in the cemetery, there's stories that they've never heard. So often what we remember of history is what our teachers told us. And the teachers have to tell an age-appropriate story. You get the adult stories on this tour, and you get to do it in a fun way.
The 50-minute tour around St. Patrick's is a history lesson in a slightly more atmospheric space than a typical classroom. And with Halloween around the corner, it's the perfect time to experience a cemetery at night. Crowson guides the group around the site to some of the fascinating people buried in the cemetery. Most are upstanding citizens, but she says people can be surprised by the stories of the few inhabitants.
And most were respectable, but there's always those other ones that had an edgier life, and I think people are surprised how many there were.
The flashlight cemetery tours are incredibly popular within the community of Lethbridge. Every time the event is offered, the tickets go fast. This year, the tour runs from October 7th to October 28th at St. Patrick's Cemetery. For E! News, I'm Cole Parkinson.